Hello, welcome to 3 at the Back, episode 9, full feature episode 9. It's the first episode of 2017, everybody. Even though we're still recording in 2016.
On the 21st of
December, you'll have noticed that there's a trend with the last few episodes. And we are still in the same room at the same time.
Travelled in time.
Same thing.
Travelled in time.
Yeah. So we're here just because, again, like I said in the first video, we can't get into college at the moment to record. So we're recording this in the last couple of days of term. So half the information is going to be absolutely dog shit by the time this arrives with you.
Yep.
But life goes on. So we're just going to do kind of a sort of discussion that's always relevant, which is where do your team need to strengthen this January transfer window? So this should be coming to you January 4th. So the window's open. So guys, who do you want to sign? That is the question. And I know that poor Joe over here, who's been neglected in the last episode with the Liverpool versus Manchester City
He's got his moment.
He's
got his time.
He's done it. Bless him. He's done his research for this video, so we're gonna let him go for it, right?
Yay.
So here's Joe and who he thinks Brentford should shine over the next.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Over the next 27 days. Go.
Josh Morris.
Josh Morris.
Josh Morris.
Introduce Josh Morris to the people who are less educated.
I first knew about Josh Morris. He was at Blackburn, and my friend at high school supports Fleetwood. He was on loan at Fleetwood. He used to play centre mid. He was a left back, and he used to play centre mid. Now he went back to Blackburn. I think he went to another club on a free contract, and now he's gone to Scunthorpe on a free contract, and he's absolutely smashing it. He's at left mid now. And he's he's top goal scorer in the league. I think he might probably be top assists as well. And at left mid, it's like, how do you get top of the league at left mid? It's not like he's a Ronaldo left mid where he's a winger. He's sitting like 4-4-2 left mid, and it's just quite sensational that he's scored 16 goals and 9 assists. And that's quick maths. 24 goals created in 17 games, which is unbelievable. Scunthorpe are fucking smashing it in League One, the top of the league. They don't look like they're probably going to win it, and he's a top guy, and it'd just be lovely because we aren't the wingers this season. See, if this episode was 2 weeks ago, I'd be saying sign new centre back, sign that. But he's got a new formation now, and the defence does not seem to be the problem. The last 3 games, once he changed the formation, we've been quite defensively sound. Obviously, we lost against Leeds, and don't know what happened to the Cardiff game or the Norwich game. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
but the defence doesn't seem to be the problem. We've got Harley Dean, John Egan, and Andreas Bjelland, who are the centre backs, 3 of them, and it seems to be going quite swimmingly. But it's the midfield, and that I think it's the control in the midfield, because the problem against Leeds was because we didn't have any attacking chances, and we kept being attacked because their midfield was stronger than ours, and that's where I think we need to improve this centre mid position, because we've got left mids and right mids, but we're playing a right back at right mid and a youngster at left mid, and that's just not. They're your two creativity players, and they're just not doing anything. So some person called Josh Morris, who's he's the answer, and
he is the solution, and to cement you into that mid-table mediocrity.
Yes, it is. Alan Judge. See, he is a very similar player to Alan Judge, and that could be a problem, because obviously he's coming back, but is he going to be the player he used to be? Because he's been out for a while. Nearly a year, I'd say. It's been a while. You think he got injured around April time, so just less than a year. So he might not be the same player he is, and we need somebody like Josh Morris who can fill that place. Now, he's linked with better clubs than us. I think he's linked with probably Nottingham Forest, linked with Newcastle, all sorts of clubs. Scunthorpe have said, we are not selling him, but money talks.
Money does talk, yeah.
He's valued at 350k on this website, but I say 2 million, maybe even more. He's the best player in the League One. The Football League, there's money in it now. Don't know how that happened, but Russ McCormack's going around for 24 million or something silly like that. So this is the world we live in. That's the first player.
What do you make of the future of a certain Mr. Scott Hogan? Because it will be a kind of a death to the show if Scott Hogan leaves Brentford. Who do we talk about?
Well, I will definitely wear my kit backwards when I walk into the studio, and I hope you will too when Scott Hogan leaves. I'll be wearing black armbands.
I'll go and buy a Brentford kit specifically to wear it that way. We'll have a minute's silence on air, won't we, John? He's not
I've got to
impressed.
say, I thought this passed an episode ago. I thought he'd grow out of
Yeah.
it, but you know.
Yeah, this is really old
We're
news
still-
when this comes to them.
We're still, yeah, I know. We're still.
what I expect.
You remember that stupid Gundogan thing that City did? Yeah, we're still taking the mick out of that. So go on, continue.
Yeah,
Scott Hogan.
he looks like he's going to leave. I was reading a couple of articles, and I do think that he's probably going to leave. He said that he's going to leave. Pretty much, there's people interested in like West Brom. I think Newcastle are interested in him. I don't know why, they've got enough strikers, but I think clubs like Stoke probably. So that would be a decent fit for
It'd be
him.
decent to see Scott Hogan in the Premier League. I'd enjoy that.
Yeah, well,
I'd enjoy
I think the good thing about West Brom is I'd be happy him to go to West Brom because Berahino's contract's expiring at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And you know,
Get him. Okay.
so it looks like he's probably going to leave. Then again, he said he wants to leave for the past how many seasons, so no doubt he'll probably sign a new contract. But if he leaves, then that's a lovely empty space for Mr. Scott Hogan to go and sit into.
Yeah.
That could mean that they're going to sign him at the end of the season, which would be lovely. I'd love another 6 months of Scotty. But yeah, my valuation is 7 million. I'm sure you completely ought to disagree with that because that is quite ridiculous money for a striker.
It's 4 million.
I just can't. I personally wouldn't sell him for 4 million.
Well, but that's just. Yeah, he's doing okay.
Andre Gray got sold for something like 6 million.
Good point. Maybe 5 then. Not as high as 7.
Why?
Because he's not worth 7.
Why is he not? Jordan Rhodes went for 10.
Depends who's buying him. If Newcastle are going to buy him, then yeah. But if a Premier League club are going to come in who, you know, they're not going to pay 7 million for a striker that's below. You know, if West Brom come in, I don't see him paying 7 million.
Yeah, he's a fair observation.
The difference is for me is someone like Jordan Rhodes. When he was knocking about, he was the name on everyone's lips. Everyone's like, "Where's he going to go? Where's he going to go?"
Yeah.
No, this is nothing against Scott Hogan, but he's not really a name that's on everybody's lips. Everyone talking about the Championship star Scott Hogan. Where's he going to go? They're not, and I think 7 million is a bit too much.
It's a fair observation.
But I think,
So,
I like to dream, don't I?
So the big question is, are you going to sign to replace Scott Hogan?
Who else? I've been going on about him.
If anybody can guess who this guy's about to say, then you win some sort of prize.
Your question about when Scott Hogan leaves, if he leaves, it'll be a death to the show. No, because this next guy will come in and take his place.
Omar Bogle.
For anybody who doesn't know who Omar Bogle is, welcome to the club. Joe, give us your insight to Omar Bogle.
Well, funnily enough, I've got another story about Omar Bogle.
Right.
Too.
Oh, story time with you.
Story time. Gather round, children.
I found out about Omar Bogle when he was playing for Solihull Moors. Me and my friend Ben Foster, who you all know, had a lovely football manager career together, and we were in Conference League North. And Omar Bogle was playing for Solihull Moors, and he was top goal scorer. And every time he played Omar Bogle, he would score. And it's a sort of running joke between me and Ben that he's just like the best player ever. And now he's actually coming up trumps, and he's in League Two, top goal scorer, absolutely slaying it in. Much like Josh Morris, there's bigger clubs that want him. Nottingham Forest seem to be very much the player who are going to get him. I'd love to sneak in and buy him. Probably not going to happen. But you did say ideal January transfers. So, Omar Bogle, if we could sign him, it would just be the perfect replacement because we've got a habit.
Is he Grimsby? Sorry.
Grimsby, yeah. We've got a habit. Andre Gray was from Luton in the conference. That's when we signed him for 750k. Sold him for 6. Scott Hogan signed him from Rochdale in League 2. He was 750k. Sold him. Well, we're probably going to sell him for, I hope 6 million. So, Omar Bogle, if we buy him for, I've put at least 1 million because I think. Then again, Andre Gray and Scott Hogan were most informed, but like I said, the money's increasing in football now, so he's probably going to be around 1 million. If we could sign him, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. 24 years old, English, just another little sequence of English young players to go from Andre Gray, Hogan, Omar Bogle.
Lovely jubbly.
And there you go. I've got a few others. I've just said that I wanted a few loans. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, because it'd just be nice just to have a young centre mid like him who's just good.
Yeah,
He's just going to put in a decent shift. And we had George Saville 2 seasons ago who was very, very good. And I feel like he'll just be his replacement. And I've also found this guy, Tony Martinez, who I don't know if any of you heard of him. He signed him for 2.55 million from Valencia in the summer. And
How many millions?
Multiple millions.
And he's smashing it in the academy.
Is he?
Yeah, he's scoring goals for fun, some may say.
I think the academy is the key phrase there. I could score goals in West Ham's academy.
a lot of Championship clubs are after him. So and like I said, he's only a tube ride away, isn't he?
True, it is true. What about any more outgoings?
I've Konstantin Kirschbaum. He's come out and said he's leaving.
All right, well that's
So sure as eggs are eggs, really.
and I've just thought, don't give a shit. He's just so bad. He's just so average. And I've said Kevin Nolan come with a free contract. He's not doing it.
Kevin Nolan.
He's only
I'd love to see
big Kev. Big
he's
Kev.
only a tube ride away. Bit of experience.
Tube right away. You don't have to move, Kevin. You don't have to move. Don't need to buy yourself a new
Just
one.
get yourself on the tube in the morning.
What a player, Kevin Nolan.
Kevin Nolan sat on the reading the Metro.
A Brentford shirt.
Well, that's filled 6 minutes. That's fantastic.
We'll move on then, because I think obviously your team are the ones struggling at the moment. I think as sort of we go around the circle, we'll have less and less signings to sort of talk about, because I know that I only want 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But John, you've got a few more ideas in terms of centre backs.
I've got a lot less than Joe. Joe came wonderfully prepared.
We need improvements. We need vast improvements.
Yeah.
Our bench is so weak, it's embarrassing.
We need vast improvements, but in one area of the pitch, which means really that the only realistic thing at this time of the year, when you're a club like Manchester City, is you're going to get one signing, if any. And I think that signing would have to be a centre-back.
Didn't you just sign a centre-back though? For 50
Yes.
million?
50 million. And the season before then, didn't
yeah.
you sign one for 45?
And this is what I was going to say, it's this vicious cycle of signing
God, Mangala.
defenders. Yeah, we don't talk about Mangala.
Didn't Liverpool just sign Joe Matip for free? And didn't he just get into our combined 11 on the other day for our...
All these are very true.
Oh,
And what I was going to say
Didn't
is
we
that-
sign Scott Hogan for this? Carry on.
Can I finish?
Is Harley
guys?
Dean available?
He's expensive.
Can I finish?
Yes,
Not
you
as
can.
expensive
Could you
as
be?
you think.
Could you be as kind as to let me finish?
Right, yeah, go on, John. Sorry,
We've
we've
been-
been a bit
to say-
neglectful today, haven't we?
I was going to say before you interrupted that we have been stuck in this vicious cycle for years of signing defenders for ridiculous amounts of money that we've been told are very good. Turns out they're not as good as they were advertised. You know what? What are the chances?
That's what you get for window shopping.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's window shopping. We just need right now. Forget youngsters. We've got one in the wings, and as bad as John Stones has been, he is a youngster, and he's under Pep Guardiola's wing, and he
That cost 50 million.
Yeah, but he's a youngster that costs 50 million.
He could become good. Stop being mean.
I don't think it's a case of could. I think he will become good.
Oh.
Under Pep Guardiola, at a club like Manchester City, I think he will become good. Right now, though, when we're struggling that badly defensively, he can't be in there, especially when he's just giving 3 goals
So
away.
who's the man then? Who comes in and sorts it all out? Who is the magician?
We just need an experienced defender. I don't care if it's for 1 year or 2 years.
Yeah.
You want about Bonucci? Oh no.
I was on
yeah.
about Bonucci.
Bonucci.
We were linked with him in the summer, and the issue
Yeah.
is I don't think you're going to be able to pry him away from
Juventus.
Juventus
to be honest,
in January.
the Premier League is as attractive as ever. at the
In
moment.
January.
It's desirable.
Yeah.
I think the time of the year is the difference. The January, would you want to go halfway through
Yeah.
a season when Juventus are doing so well?
You're going to leave Juventus in the lurch, aren't you, really?
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen.
So-
Ideal
so-
signing would be
Yeah,
him because
yeah.
he's Italian, workhorse, experienced, knows how to defend. None of this mucking about, none of this nonsense, none of this pantsy.
Panicking and shit.
I'll scissor tackle him. He knows how to make decisions. He's a proven
I know.
World Cup playing defender.
Yep.
Absolute solid player. That would be the ideal one.
So you
And-
want an experienced old centre back?
Yeah.
Phil Jagielka.
Sometimes a Premier League experienced defender works because they know
For
the
you,
league
I'd go
and
with.
it's a
Why
very
not?
different league.
You've got the money. Go for somebody like Alderweireld or something. You know, just go for
Well,
Tom.
that's like.
Koscielny?
Would you not want Van Dijk? Because obviously I know that you.
Yeah. Well, that's who I'm going to come on
But-
to. So I suppose we could both talk about this as centre back.
This is why our previous few exploits into the defender market is why I don't want to get Van Dijk because we will end up paying 40 million, 50 million probably.
Yeah.
How much is Southampton going to want?
Yeah, they
and
could
he
just
will
put
come.
whatever the price they
and
want on him.
I'm scared now if we pay that much money, which we could easily fall into the trap of. We have done it before.
Yeah.
He comes. He's halfway through a season. He's young. He's going to be a fantastic player. There's no doubt about that. But like.
It's not what City need.
It's
is it?
not what we need. We've got a young
You've
centre
got somebody,
back
yeah.
who's English and who will develop under Pep Guardiola as a fantastic centre back. I think we don't need another one,
Yeah.
and he is fantastic. And
Wait, have you still got Di Michaelis?
no,
Okay,
no.
good.
Yeah, good, isn't it?
God for that.
You know, if we could just bring him in and say, "Oi,
Draft him in.
geezer, come over here."
Are you?
That would be great, but it's the fact of purchasing him, and there's no doubt it will be a ridiculous sum of money, and it's not what we want.
On a serious note, on a genuinely serious note, do you think it's worth drafting somebody in to cover for Gundogan?
No.
No.
Just on a loan?
Fernando, Torre, I don't think we've got an issue there.
No.
I really don't.
So
It's,
why do you
it's
have
the, it's the
Gundogan
back
then?
four that's the issue. On the counter-attack.
Why wear the shirt?
Why make such a big deal out of it? It was serious, and then I don't know. I just couldn't resist.
Can't help yourself, can you?
No.
So, yeah, if there's
So
one
is that
player...
the only side? What about a goalkeeper?
Well, I mean, there's talk of Bravo leaving already, which I think
there
is
is.
just
It's just paper
No,
talk.
it's paper talk, isn't
Is
it?
the Hart loan recallable?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I've got to be honest.
Well, I've read that he's not going to. I don't think he's going to do that anyway. Whether
No, I think
or
he will.
not.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering.
I
In fact,
think- I
you're going to come crawling back to me now, are you? After you let me go, so he won't
I don't
do
think-
he
that.
wouldn't
I
have the
think-
motivation, I don't
No,
think,
he
to play
wouldn't,
well.
No. So that's City. So Bonucci for Manchester City.
I would
Very
like to
nice.
see that.
For me, like we sort of touched on, I think same for us really. We're one player away from really
Perfection.
not perfection, because you could argue that James Milner isn't perfection at left back.
He's just gone to our 11,
He got into our 11 the other day,
which you can watch.
which you can watch in the description below, along with all the other good stuff.
It's part of the good stuff.
Part of the
Small
good
portion.
stuff. We'll get onto more good stuff later because we're not finished. But you could argue that James Milner isn't ideal at left back, despite the good job he's doing. But I think as a centre back, we have, don't get me wrong, we have good centre back options, and I think Ragnar Klavan's really coming on as well. So he could end up doing a job there instead, and suddenly we don't need anybody. He had Lukaku in his pocket in the derby.
In
some
his
would say.
pocket.
So
Scratched by his keys.
So I don't know. So maybe somebody would bring in, but to be honest, right now I don't know how much Klopp will want to play about with things. Sadio Mane's going to do African Cup of Nations, so I believe we're bringing in this Christian Pulisic from Borussia Dortmund, the young American kid, who's looking very, very good. He can play left or right midfield. But Klopp's a really big fan of him.
On loan or full time?
I believe full time.
Yeah.
I don't know how much for.
Yeah.
You're probably looking at 7-8 million for somebody like that.
Cool. It's not bad.
Which I would take, obviously. If you're going to take a young player,
this year, isn't it?
exactly.
This year, in this
you're going to take
stage.
a young player like that, and you want to develop him, then you go for it, because that's what you've got to do. You've always got to be looking for the future. The dream signing will be somebody like a Marco Reus who can play there, but it's
Messi,
Ronaldo,
Omar Bogle.
See, already, he's not even signed for you, and he's already becoming a
I
joke.
love Omar Bogle.
Ilkay Gundogan, but he's injured. Sorry, because it's the same recording session. John still wound up about the previous episode and how much we took the piss out of Gundogan.
I'll be wound up in
we
2 weeks if you bring it up again, mate. I swear to God.
We're in a different year, mate.
He'd be laughing.
I know, he would laugh.
Oh,
I bet he laughed at the Arsenal game. Sat at home in his crutches going, what the fuck is this?
He put on Instagram, P.S. I'm not dead.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So even he agrees.
In fairness.
So that's what I'd go for. If we're going to sign anybody, it'd probably be a centre-back and this winger. I don't know if Klopp will sign a centre-back, to be honest. I think if he obviously, it's inevitable that Van Dijk will sign eventually because he's a Southampton player. But I think in January...
the passing of the sun in the day. Sky.
Sure as eggs are eggs. I think it's unlikely. Not unlikely, sorry. I think it's a possibility that Klopp will sign a defender.
Well, that's definitely the position that you need to improve the most.
Well, you would say that, but
you had big faith in Lovren, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because Lovren and Matty on paper are really good players, and maybe the goalkeeping's the issue. If
Would
we had
you look to sign a new goalkeeper?
probably not.
Really?
Not in January.
Well, you've just got Carrius.
Just got Karius. Karius is going to come good. I genuinely believe Karius is going to come good.
Okay. Can't wait till he does a Mignolet and you sell him in about 3 seasons.
Yeah. Well, in a couple of weeks we've got the Southampton games in the cup, and I think that's when Karius is going to come back in.
Yeah, fair point.
So, and we've got, I think, what's this? This is going to be the 4th of January. So at the weekend we've got Plymouth in the cup. So I think potentially Plymouth or Newport. The game's tonight actually. That game, Plymouth or Newport. So Karius will come back in for that for me. maybe he does bring in, but whether Klopp is willing to spend 40, 50 million on a centre back in January, that's the question for me. Does he just hold out, see what he got? You sees what he's got because he can play Lucas.
Is he
play Lucas at centre back?
Is he going to compete with Chelsea at this point with what's happening now? Does he need somebody in January to help you go and win it? Because at the moment, if I had to put a bet on, I'd say Chelsea are going to run away with it.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I'd in my opinion, I'd want one of your teams to try and get on their level. Is it impossible, or can a major sign in January help you win that title?
Chelsea have a very good defence, don't get me wrong, but the reason Chelsea are where they are is because they've got one outstanding individual up front. Took Diego Costa's goal out of that team, they're nowhere near as far ahead as they are. So is a central defender...
Don't take away from Conte either.
Yeah, but is a central defender really going to put us on Chelsea's level right now? Because we've got the goals.
The difference is getting one player is not going to be enough to conquer such a well-oiled machine.
So essentially... For you to either to win the title, there's nothing you can do. You just want Chelsea to fuck it up.
That would be
but there's a long way to go. Chelsea have still got to come to Anfield. Jamie Carragher was saying the other night, if Liverpool can stay 5 or 6 points within Chelsea and then beat them at Anfield, suddenly it's on.
Yeah.
And we're 6 points behind them. We've still got to play them. It's on. You would argue that you would expect. Now, don't get me wrong. They could well and truly prove me wrong, but you would expect Chelsea to at least lose one more game this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to have a blip. So
they always do.
So every team does. Every team's going to lose.
From Leicester last season, they just didn't.
Yeah, they just didn't, did they? So that's my opinion. So for me, the highest priority, to be honest, would be the winger to cover for Mane. Even though Lallana can play there, you can have Wijnaldum out there probably. You can even have Henderson out there. But another wide player.
Well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got this Ben Woodburn, who's a very good prospect.
Yeah.
But for me, the young Christian Pulisic type of player who's hungry for game time, hungry to prove himself, can play on the right and can do a job while Mane's gone. That would be my ideal signing for this January transfer window. 7-8 million, bish bash bosh. Got an extra player in your squad. Can't argue with that. Buzzing. Like a Scott Hogan Brentford B / Omar Bogle Brentford B / not Ilkay Gundogan because he's injured. Right,
you're really right.
And we're done.
Stop talking.
I'll kick off with him if you don't stop it.
Thanks very much for listening again. We're back to normal from this point onwards.
Yeah, we'll stop recording on the 21st of December.
This is the last time you're going to hear us say it's the 21st of December. So thanks very much for listening. All the good stuff. We shall now revisit all the good stuff in our description. Facebook, Patreon, sillyseason.com. Last week's video, well, it's pretty much redundant now because Liverpool have played Man City, but give it a listen anyway. We love the views. All them views. That's all the good stuff I can think of.
That's it.
Facebook,
that is all good stuff.
Thank you very much for listening again. We will see you a week today for the usual 3 at the back. Further good stuff.
Indeed.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.